All right, guys, welcome to another session. And in today's session, we're going to be looking at functions in JavaScript. So I have created a variable in a folder in this our tutorial folder. So I've created a folder called JS functions. And this is where we're going to be writing all of our functions. We're going to be practicing them. And yeah, so I'm going to right click and open this with Visual Studio Code. Beautiful. So the very first thing I want to do is let's set up our project files. I'm going to have index.html. Now in this class, I don't want to style any elements. So I'm not going to have style.css file, but I'm going to have my script.js file because I want to write JavaScript programs. So scripts.js. And in my index.html, let me have my HTML boilerplate. So first of all, I need to change this to HTML. So I'm changing that to HTML. Now when I type HTML again, I should have this emit abbreviation. So I'm going to change document to JS or JavaScript functions. So then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add my script tag so that I can include my script. So I'll say this is script.js. So this is all I'm going to be doing in my HTML file. The next thing I want to do is to come to my script.js file, or first of all, let's go live. Let's go live. Beautiful. So we are live now. And just to check that our page is working properly, let's have something in our index. Let's say h1 welcome to JavaScript functions. Functions. And I'm going to save this and check. Okay, so we have that. So in this course, we're going to pay attention more on the console. Whatever we are writing, we're going to be visualizing them in the console. I would have said we should write all of our programs in this console, but okay, let's try something. So the first thing we want to do is want to look at functions declaration. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is function declare. I hope this English is correct. Declarations, okay. So I need to remove one S. Function declarations. So we have so many ways we declare functions and variable. When we say declaring of functions in JavaScript, rather, we have one of the we can use just like we making a variable like const. You can say const a or count equals on 100. So I've declared a variable. I also assigned value to this variable like this. So a variable called count, and the value of this variable is 100. So same thing is applicable for functions. But one important thing we need to take note of is this keyword that we're going to be using, the function keyword, and then the name of the function. So I'm going to call this function say hello. Then we have our parentheses and then curly bracket. So all the codes that we want to execute whenever we call these functions are going to be located inside of these curly brackets. So they are going to be located inside of this. So when we say, for example, we say console.log, then we can say hello. Let's say hello. So when we save this and come back, okay, so we have a problem that we need to fix. Function equals. created our function, and when we come to our executor, our console, we are not seeing anything, nothing is shown here. But what we can do is to call that function. So that's why we give the function a name. We have a name here. So whenever we call the function, we copy that. Let's say we copy that and we paste it somewhere here. It's going to execute whatever we have put inside of this function. That will be executed. So when I save this and go back to my console, I should have hello here, right? That's for function. So we created a function, we created a function, or we declared a function, and then we are executing the function by saying hello. That is the name of the function. So a function, we can get rid of this and save. There is no hello here. But when I come here and I say, so that's how we have the console. The console is to help us, the programmers, to debug. So when I hit enter, I should have my hello there. So that's for that. Let me have this back and save. So we have a function that has been declared. The question you might be asking is, why do we need functions? Let's say, for example, we have console.log and we say hello again. So let me include something. Hello developers. And then I have it like this. So let's say I want to have this like 10 times. So I have there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for example, I want to change all of these codes. I don't want it to be hello developers. I want it to be like hello world instead. So I'll have to come here and change for this hello world and also change for these. So I keep changing for that. For example, we have like 1,000 lines of code. We'll keep writing hello world for all of these lines, and that could be very taxing. So that's why we use functions in JavaScript. So for example, I already have my function say hello. So I can say hello world or hello developers here. Developers. So when I save this, I have say hello here. If I should go back, I should have hello developers. Now, if I want to have hello developers 10 times, I can have it 10 times. And I save this and I come hello developers. You can see the counter here is 11. So if I want to change this to hello world, it's going to, so let's check once again. We are seeing hello developers here, right? And I want to change this to hello world. I can come here and change it one time, and it's going to affect all of these hello that we have here. All of these say hello. It's going to affect all of them. And I save, I have 11 times and say hello world rather, instead of hello developers. So that's one of the functions in JavaScript. That's one of the main reasons why we use JavaScript and functions. So functions in JavaScript, this is very important. It's a very important topic. It's actually a building block in JavaScript. So we've been able to treat function declaration, function execution. Now let's look at another important topic, another important or interesting thing in functions. Let's say, for example, we want to say hello and we want to print out somebody's name, for example. So there's what we call parameters. So we can pass in something here and say name. So we want to get the person's name, right? We want to say hello to somebody. And then we don't want to say hello world actually. We want to say, for example, hello Timothy. That's what we want to say. Hello. So what we can do is to comma and put in the name here. So we created a parameter called name. You can see where this parameter is. And then we pass in name here. Hello, then comma name. When we come here and we impute name here and say Timothy, for example, and then we save this, we're going to see hello Timothy shown here, right? Now, the name that we have here is called a parameter. You can see when I over on this, you're seeing parameter here, right? That is what we've put in there. And over here, what we have here is called argument. So when we execute the function with something in the parentheses, it is called argument. So when we declare the function and have something inside of these parentheses, it is called parameter. So we put our name, the name here, hello, and whatever. We can also include more than one parameters. For example, we can have name and we can also have age as well. And what I can do is console log this, and let me also console log something else. Oh, console.log, and let's call this, let's say you are, and then I'm going to put age right here. Say age, you are age. So I have two parameters here. I can equally pass age here and it will still work, nothing will change. But I just want to try something. So I have this like this, console.log your comma age. So when I come here and I say hello Timothy and I run this, I'm going to see hello Timothy, you are dash. So undefined, it means I did not state. So I created a parameter called age, but I've not utilized the parameter. So I have to come to say hello and put in age there, let's say 45. And then we save that. And we're going to have hello Timothy, you are 45. So we have parameters and then we have arguments. The next thing we want to do is to have functions like an expression. So remember, we can create a variable like this, and let's say const name is equal to this. We can create a variable like this. Same thing is applicable to functions. We can save const, let's say goodbye, const goodbye. And what we're going to do is just to put this equal to. So just like we are creating a variable, but at this time around, we're going to have function keyword here. So we're not just going to declare it as a variable, but we call it like a variable and then we include the function keyword. Here we have our double parentheses. So whenever we have these double parentheses, that's like this, it shows that we are creating a function. So we have that, and then we have our curly braces where all of our functions, all of our logic will be located. So I can say console log goodbye. And then when I come over here and say goodbye, notice what will happen. And then I come back to this. So nothing actually happens because whenever you say you call a function, you have to include these double brackets. You have to include that. It tells you, it shows that you are calling this function, you want to execute whatever is in the function. So when I save and I go back, I should see goodbye there. Another thing we can also do is we can add parameters to this. So we can come here and say name, and when we come over here, just add the comma and put the name and say name. And then during execution, we add the name because of the data type we want to collect. We want to collect string, so we have double quotes and the text that we want to have. So when I save that, and it tells goodbye Timothy. So you see, hello Timothy, you are 45, goodbye Timothy. So we have functions that we've dealt with, and we're going to look into more details in functions.